This is an AEA Terminator Generation 2 from AEA. It's a 35 caliber, 357 caliber semi-automatic from AEA. It's the world's most powerful semi-automatic in the world right now, but the B&W is coming out with the 45 caliber. It's got a safety and fire right there. It's got a bubble level right there, so you can sight in. Make sure your gun is level and good cant. It's got an integral shroud silencer, 700 dual air bottle system. Max fill pressure is 3,600 psi. The barrel length is 20 inches. As you can see, it's got a end cap there that you can put a Donny FL silencer on there. There's a bin tack accessory that goes around your air tank so you can put a bipod on there. That's my bipod. It's only about 26 bucks on Amazon because I can't see myself spending like $300-400 on a bipod. Although those are really cool. The AccuTac, those are really cool. This is my Vector Optics scope, Marksman. It's got a first focal plane and it's got mil dots. It's a 6x24x50. Great scope with a Christmas tree reticle. Anyway, this is the AEA Terminator. Great gun. And it comes with 2 detachable magazines. If you buy it from Airguns Tactical, they give you CNC machined magazines. Very nice. And yes, there's a power wheel. If you can adjust it right there on the screw. This is the gun, and let's see. I'm going to do some shooting today. We're going to see some 10-shot groups at 50 yards. These are the pellets that I used for this video, the Vortex Strike pellets, and they're 82 grains, 35 caliber. But the thing is you get them from Amazon and they're not really Vortex Strike pellets. They're kind of blemished, as you can see right here. Get a lot of imperfections in them. But on the other hand, they shoot pretty well. So, and they're cheap. If you have Amazon Prime, you can get these shipped free to you. And right now on Amazon, they cost about $13.99. And $13.99 is pretty good for 100 pellets. So anyway, these shoot pretty accurately. They look a lot like the JSB Diablo shaped pellets. The 81 grains. These are 82. But yeah, I would recommend getting these if you want to save some money and you have Amazon Prime. It equals about 14 cents a pellet. Well, a little bit more when you add tax to it. So anyway, this is what I shot. Let's see some of that video. So these are some of the groups you can get at 50 yards. I think the best that I got was under 2 inches. There are some flyers and stuff, but you can see that it groups around 2 inches to 2.25 inches on 10-shot groups. That's just kind of a spoiler, but here's the shooting right now. Okay, let me just walk you through this. So 50 yards, I zero my scope at, at the zero. I've zeroed it. When I go out to 100 yards, I have to bring my scope up about 4 mil dots. It's funny because on the Streetlock Pro and the Streetlock app, which is supposed to tell you exactly how many clicks you go up on your mil-dot scope, it's not quite as accurate as, I think it says about 3 mil-dots up, like 3.1 or something like that. Mine actually has to go up 4. It might even go up to 4.5, but definitely 4 mil-dots up at 100 yards. At 50 yards, I zero it, and again, it's really simple to zero a scope. I know people use different methods on zeroing a scope, but all I have to, as you can see, the mil-dot little marks on my scope. If the pellet is about 2 or 3 mil-dots over, let's say it's 2 or 3 mil-dots over to the right, you just click. Let's say it's 3 mil-dots, you would click 30 clicks to the left, and that would zero it back in. And I've done this, so it's really cool to measure this, because with the first focal plane scope, you can measure the distances, and I usually measure them at 24 magnification. You can see this groups quite nicely at 50. At 50 yards, the Terminator's pretty dead on accurate. You're gonna probably hit exactly what you're aiming at. Now, it does have flyers every now and then, and what I notice is that Terminator really works better when the air pressure is between probably maybe 3,600 and well, I guess 2,400 or so PSI. I shot some groups at 100 that without as much air pressure, and at times it dropped at 100. At 50 it doesn't really seem to drop though. You can see these are pretty good groups. I'm shooting 10-shot groups because, you know, I think it's a lot easier. You know, I can get less than 1-inch groups on a good group at with 5 shots. But I really wanted to put 10 shots through these groups to see the actual inches that it groups at. So they group anywhere from about 2 inches to 2.25 inches or so. And then I'm not even going to count the flyers. The flyers, sometimes you can see that I'm aiming exactly at the bullseye, and then it'll go off 1 or 2 inches, kind of like that one. So anyway, not too much else to say except that this is a fun gun. You're gonna have to shoot it on the range or somewhere safe, because not because it's loud, but just because it's very powerful. I don't know if you can check out my other video where it was AEA Terminator versus Fruit, but this thing, when it hits, it's definitely a weapon. This thing is more powerful than a .22 LR firearm rifle. Those are, you know, maybe about 100 foot-pounds of energy. This is more like 130 to 150 foot-pounds of energy. And as I've shown in my other videos, this goes about 840 feet per second on an average. I know the Terminator 1s go around 900 to up to 930 feet per second. But as I put in one of my comments, actually I think they from what I heard from my distributor, they stopped making the hamstring so strong because it was breaking the magazines. So I honestly do not know how to change out a hammer spring, and I'm really just happy with it at 840 feet per second. It's shoots straight, and it's accurate enough for me. I'm not a pro shooter or anything like that, and you know, I did not get an FX Impact M3 or anything like that. But from what I can see from other videos, the the FX impacts are so expensive. They're about $22.50. This is kind of my second PCP air rifle. I didn't want to feel like spending that for the FX impact, so I got this, and I'm still very happy. These go for about $1,200 on the Airgun Tactical website. You can also buy them from different people on the websites. So as you can see, it's a fun gun. I go shooting probably once a week or once every 2 weeks. I'm out there, and I think the best part of it is kind of like the gun community is so friendly, so nice, and so the people out there is one of the reasons why I go out there, just kind of hang out and talk to different people about anything, basically. So you can see these are nice groups. And then of course I'm shooting here in the middle. I ran out of real estate there, so I just shot in the middle here. So I don't know, I was trying to put music in the background, but it's making the music go the entire video, so I'll see what I can do there. I'll probably put some background music in there. And just let you guys enjoy this. In a minute here, I'm going to shoot at 100 yards, and you'll see that I wasn't recording in the first part of the 100-yard video. This is 100 yards right there, but you can see on the right, my first 4 or 5 shots hit there, up bottom right, and that was probably about a 2.5 inch group there. This one, I'm shooting with not as much air in the tank right now. I was running out of air, but it was still, shooting, about 3-inch groups or so. But it's not, when you don't have as much air, it does drop a little bit at 100 yards. When you have the air, you can hit 3-inch groups, 3 to 3.5-inch groups, all day long with a good scope. So anyway, this is at 100 yards here. Quite honestly, I love shooting at 100 because it's a little more challenging, and I know with the FX impact, you guys can get really small groups with 22. This is a 357, so the groups are not quite as tight, but again, all air guns are fun, I think. So whatever air gun you have, I'm sure you're happy. Of course, I get bored with the targets and I start shooting dirt clods. That's actually a rock, quite honestly. It does not explode. So, I don't know where I'm shooting at this point. Okay. This is shooting more of a dirt clod, I think. And come on, shoot. Yeah, I hope this is not too boring for anybody. It's just so much. It's I learn a lot from the Airgun channel, Nate over there. Just watching his video on the icon, the Crossman icon. He's got so much good information, details that we learn. And of course, my wife came in and she's like, "Is this your religion?" And I said, "No, it's not really my religion. It's kind of my school. I kind of learn a lot from YouTube about different air gunners, and I just find it really fascinating. I'm kind of new to the gun community. This is my first year shooting guns, and obviously I had a pellet gun when I was younger, one of those Crossman Pump Master. You pump it up to 10 times and it shoots a 177 pellet. You can see the groups here are, there's some, upper right's kind of crazy, but upper left one is a pretty good group, and the lower left is a good group too. All right, have a great day. Happy shooting, as Nate says. Have a good day.